Hello, everybody. It's Monday, and we are now into 2025. This is Captain Marty, and you may say it's the dead of winter, and it is, and it's cold, although today is a slight warm-up. But we do have stuff to talk about on the fishing front, including a Gold Star catch. I'll be right back to do just that. Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on Wicked Tuna Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious, 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. To book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits.
Electricity. Something I don't mix well with at all, and that's why I only trust the folks at ELS OBX. ELS OBX offers a variety of services from custom electrical installations to lighting design. ELS OBX has the experience and know-how to complete any job. They're committed to providing the highest quality lighting and electrical installations or service at affordable prices. Visit them online at elsobx.com to get a brighter idea of how shockingly awesome they are. See what I did there? ELS OBX, electrical and lighting solutions you can count on.
So, offshore fishing. We start right out with the Gold Star catch on Friday. My old buddy, Captain Greg Mayer, and his mate, Bill and Hollingsworth, they were out offshore looking for a giant bluefin tuna, and they came back with what we call their giant. Dressed weight was well over 500 pounds. The whole fish would have weighed well over 700 pounds. So that's a bluefin tuna, a once-in-a-lifetime fish, and just a monster of a sea creature, really. The bluefin tunas mostly end up in the marketplace. I'm not exactly sure what they did with that one. It was caught. Greg does both commercial fishing and charter fishing, so it could have been one or the other. I do know that there are a lot of rules about the giant bluefin tuna, and there is a lot of stuff that's discussed when you book a boat to go bluefin tuna fishing. Some of the smaller sizes, which are still bigger than all the rest of the tuna, you're allowed one or two per day in some situations, but the giant, for your average charter boat, you're allowed one per year. And so you have to talk it over with the captain. Is it going to be you that gets to keep the one per year? How does all that work? And something you need to talk about. But all of them can be caught and released. But do you know how hard it is to have 700 pounds of tuna swimming alongside the boat and you let it go? Although I commend that. But man, I tell you what, that's a lot of tuna fish sandwiches. Other than that, oh, wait a minute, there was one other thing. Couple other things. On that same day, there were some boats that were bluefin tuna fishing with bluefin tuna gear, and they only use a couple or three baits instead of the 7 or 10 or 12 that you use for catching the smaller tunas, and they caught numerous yellowfin tuna while trying to catch the big bluefins. That's a good sign. They're late. I don't know where they came from, but we've had some decent yellowfin tuna fishing towards the end of last week, and so when the weather permits and the boats can get out there, we may see more of that. I do not have a report out of Hatteras. Things are pretty quiet down there. They were catching king mackerel and blackfin tuna, but like I say, there's just so little fishing going on right now, and I did not see anything on websites or web pages, things like that, to update you. I'm sorry about that, but usually when that happens, it's because everybody is taking some time in the boatyard or time with their families. This is the time of year a lot of the guys go on vacation, and you'd be surprised how many of them go fishing on their vacation. No kidding. Others go hunting, like me, somewhere. Some go on cruises. There's a couple of them on cruises this week as well. So I don't know. If I spent my whole summer on a boat, I don't think I want to be on a boat. I want to try something different. In the surf, and the piers are mostly closed. I think Jeanette's pier is still open, but on limited hours. But it's pretty general when we talk about what's going on in the surf. And a lot of this is on Hatteras Island, where they're still catching a few sea mullet. They're catching some black drum. And there's a few sheepheads still being caught along with some dogfish, which is like a small shark. So that's it. And mostly sea mullet, black drum, sheephead, and a few dogfish. Every once in a while, there's still a puppy drum being caught. And that's all I have on the surfing pier. We'll take a little break right here, and I'll come back and tell you about a couple things going on in the Sounds.
When it comes to finding phenomenal seafood, you gotta go insane. That's right, stop into the Insane Seafood Market right there on Highway 64 in Columbia. Luke Midget and his crew work hard out on the water to make sure you have the freshest selection of seafood around. They provide a wide selection of fish, crabs, shrimp, oysters, and clams, just to name a few. Insane Seafood has a hot bar to satisfy that seafood craving right on the spot. Visit them online at insaneseafood.com and like them on social media. Go insane at Insane Seafood Market, Highway 64 in Columbia.
All right, so as you know, we've been talking for a long time about the speckled trout bite. And at one point, when we talked about backcountry fishing, we were talking about Albemarle Sound, Croatan Sound, Roanoke Sound, Pamlico Sound, all of the inshore bodies of water. Pretty much right now, it's primarily the Pamlico Sound. And the fish, we've been tracking them. They've been moving west for the last month or so, the speckled trout. And I'm pretty sure there was a pretty good bite over Pungo Way over the weekend. So that's getting over there around Belhaven. And it was almost exclusively a trout bite. I did not hear of anything else like a bluefish or a puppy drum, things of that nature, but the bite is still on. But we are now playing by winter rules, and I'm not talking about legalities, I'm talking about safety. And this is something that needs to be well thought out. People go crazy to catch a speckled trout, but don't be crazy. Don't make stupid moves, and make sure that you're prepared as best as possible in case your boat breaks down or a strong cold front sneaks up on you or whatever and comes through. You want to be prepared for that. There's a lot of things you can do, a lot of places you can learn, but I say and preach this many times. A man or woman who loves fishing will spend $1,000 on a premium rod and reel. Even if it's a speckled trout rod, a custom rod, it's a really good spinning reel, could cost you $500 to $750 for the combination without blinking an eye. But that same person will not spend $250 to buy, for instance, a survival suit or a Mustang jacket, which is kind of what the Coast Guard guys wear, something similar to that. There are working flotation devices that will give you warmth and flotation if you were to go overboard. And you say, well, my boat's brand new, nothing could happen. Trust me, brand new boats are the most troublesome of all when it comes to problems. So keep that in mind. Be safe, be prepared. And most of the time, the speckled trout guys are out there with two people in the boat, almost always. That's two survival suits. For $500, you and your friend, you put on a survival suit, pull the hood up, zip everything up, turn on the flare, the light, and you go overboard. You're going to float in that suit for hours without dying of hypothermia. Isn't that worth $250, $300 for a survival suit? So think about it, shop around a little bit, you get what you pay for, but don't forget, speckled trout bite is good, but be safe. Also, one other little deal in a non-ocean catch over on the Bonner Bridge Pier. Used to be the old Bonner Bridge across the Oregon Inlet. They're still catching the striped fish. The striped fish are not striped bass. Oh, well, they kind of would be, but these are vertical stripes, black drum and sheephead. Still catching a few of those around. Been a great year for sheephead fishing, and it seems like they're getting more and more plentiful each year. So I didn't know they would bite this late into the winter. I'm not even sure whether they're migratory or go somewhere else. Evidently, they do not. And by the way, while we're talking about cold water, seawater temperatures, thanks to Tony Lombardi from walkingangler.com, who gives me a lot of our inshore stuff, low 50s, and it's even dipping into the 40s in some places. I think the marina at Oregon Inlet the other day had 42 degrees water temperature. So it's really, really about as cold as we're going to see this year, and it sounds like more cold weather on the way. Cold weather eventually will translate to cold water. It takes a day or two for that to happen. So again, that's the big focus of today's story. That's all I have for you in the report. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're having a happy new year.